My report this evening concerns, from my view, one of the most abysmal inventions in the history of pet products, the extender leash. Oddly, too many pet owners do not agree, and much to the dismay of those who have fallen victim to the shortcomings of these leashes, many continue to use them, and for some odd reason, even like them. For those not familiar with the extender leash, it is a type of leash that has a loaded spring on a handle that allows the leash to be as short as 3 feet or as long as 15 feet, some even extending to 20 feet. It can lock in place at whatever length the dog owner wishes it to be. Sound convenient? Wrong. The first problem we see with this kind of leash is that once it is extended, if a dog needs to be reeled in for whatever reason, it cannot be. So here you are, a car or another dog is approaching. Perhaps it is a cyclist or a small child you do not want your dog to scare or boulder into. Well, good luck with an excited dog with 20 feet of slack you cannot rein in. What's more, after the first few feet, the leash narrows from a nylon strap to a thin braided nylon rope, perfect for getting the pet owner, approaching cyclist, other dog, or small child tangled up in and riddled with painful rope burns. This is even more fun when the pet owner thinks that the lock mechanism is in place, but it is not. Or when the dog is about to take off and the pet owner tries to engage the lock too late. The dog is already pulling too hard, and it will not lock down, giving the dog 15 to 20 feet of freedom with a dangerous taut rope in between. Yes, this is a most wonderful surprise for all parties involved. Just 2 days ago, a client in my waiting room had her Chihuahua on one of these genius devices. She had forgotten to engage the lock mechanism, and her Chihuahua, like many others of her breed that rarely see another dog that they do not want to attack, went after a boxer sitting across the room. The boxer and his owner were minding their own business, doing the right thing. Boxer kept at bay with a short leash, when along comes an angry Chihuahua bounding across the waiting room, poised to attack. The boxer outweighs the Chihuahua by 60 pounds, so naturally the Chihuahua's owner is mortified. Left with no other recourse, she grabs and pulls on the thin braided extender portion of the leash, trying to rein in her determined, angry little dog, meanwhile suffering rope burns on her hands. Another client, an innocent bystander who had simply come into the waiting room to pick up medication, ended up tangled in the leash as the Chihuahua circled around her, gifting her with rope burns on her legs. It's shorts weather year-round here in Florida. My waiting room descended into an utter chaos. Luckily for the Chihuahua, the boxer was a gentle soul, and despite being provoked, did not retaliate. Folks, this is not an uncommon consequence of these horrible leashes. From a training perspective, a dog walked with one of these leashes never learns leash manners. Teaching a dog to walk along with the owner on a short leash at his side makes the walk pleasant and productive for both dog and owner. Giving the dog 15 to 20 feet of slack to take off, jump out onto the road, go after squirrels, meanwhile tangling up the owner and other poor souls that may pass by, teaches the dog no walk discipline. The vast majority of pet professionals, whether on the healthcare side, grooming, or training, detest these kinds of leashes. I'm sure I speak for most of them when I urge all of you to say no to extender leashes.